Chapter 491. Reaching the front line. Elder Song lifted her hand, and a beam of light shot out. It suddenly exploded not far in front of her, turning into a green image. It was the symbol of Shrek Academy. Not long afterward, more than 10 figures approached from the distance. Huo Yuao was immediately stunned. This was because he could immediately see that Princess Wei Na of the Heavenly Soul Empire was flying in the front. The Soul Masters with her were quite strong too. They were at least 7 ring soul sages. It seemed like the Academy had notified them that Elder Song and Ding Yan were leading a team over. This was why there was such a distinguished welcome. The rest didn't know, but Huo Yuao was clearly aware that Princess Wei Na's status in the Heavenly Soul Empire was like Princess Juju's status in the Dalu Empire. Very soon, Princess Wei Na and the rest were in front of them. They stopped 30 meters away. Greetings, you must be Elder Song. I am Wei Na from the Heavenly Soul Empire. Princess Wei Na greeted Elder Song. Those who were strong were usually well respected. Elder Song smiled and said, Princess Wei Na, you don't have to stand on ceremony. Wei Na quickly turned to Huo Yuao. After nodding slightly at him, she gestured for Elder Song to follow her. The Soul Masters with Wei Na also made way for those from Shrek Academy to proceed towards Heavenly Spirit City. Wei Na and Elder Song flew side by side. As they flew, Wei Na softly described the current situation at the front line. Although Huo Yuao's ears weren't as strong as his eyes, he could still hear Wei Na's words, as she didn't intentionally lower her voice. Princess Wei Na, how's the situation at the front line right now? Elder Song asked Wei Na. Princess Wei Na replied, it's still considered quite stable. Ever since the Daluo Empire attacked the Sun Moon Empire, the pressure on us has been greatly alleviated. This has been especially so over the past month. The Sun Moon Empire's attacks have already ceased. They're only trying to stabilize their own territories now. At the same time, they're still trying to prevent all our surveillance. The most difficult thing for us now is to survey them. In terms of surveillance soul tools, we are really lagging behind. It's still a problem of surveillance. Huo Yuao sighed in his heart. However, the Sun Moon Empire's advantage in this area was simply too great. Princess Wei Na didn't look too well. Her face was pale, and her eyes were slightly red. Evidently, she was overworked. Her empire's land had been invaded. As an important member of the imperial family, she was under great pressure. It was rumored that the imperial family of the Heavenly Soul Empire had suffered heavy damages when the empire was invaded. Then, the emperor even fought himself and sustained critical injuries. Heavenly Spirit City was a large-scale city in the center of the Heavenly Soul Empire. It wasn't considered very far from Heaven Do City. After the capital was lost, this city was the last barrier that the empire had. If they lost Heavenly Spirit City, there would be a wide expanse of land behind it that the Sun Moon Empire could occupy. Princess Wei Na said to Elder Song, my father wanted to personally come to receive all of you. However, he is yet to recover from his injuries. This was why he sent me over. I'm sorry. Elder Song shrugged off the apology and said, you don't have to stand on ceremony right now. We have a common enemy. Also, the Academy has been receiving support from the Heavenly Soul Empire all this while. It's only right that we help you on the battlefield. Your Highness, you should know our plan, right? As she spoke until here, Elder Song's gaze turned sharp. Princess Wei Na nodded gently and didn't say anything else. The plan that Elder Song referred to was naturally the 3 Soul Engineer Legions that Shrek Academy was establishing. Currently, only the core members of the 3 empires of the Douluo continent knew about this plan. By asking this question, Elder Song was confirming Wei Na's status in the Heavenly Soul Empire. Everyone proceeded towards Heavenly Spirit City. Currently, the city had been completely revamped. Huo Yuao saw the Juga Divine crossbow cannons that the Tang Sect had manufactured on top of the city walls. There were even quite a number of them. It seemed like all the Juga Divine crossbow cannons that the Empire had bought from the Tang Sect, as long as they were in perfect condition, were out. There were very few civilians in the city. Soldiers were everywhere. Princess Wei Na said, the civilians of the city have been evacuated to a safer place. Right now, this has become a military establishment. It's also our last line of defense. As she spoke until here, she couldn't help but sigh. She revealed a slightly sad look in her eyes. A few months ago, who would have expected the great Heavenly Soul Empire to be embroiled in such a tragic state? After entering the city, Princess Wei Na personally arranged the accommodations for those from Shrek Academy. They were temporarily allowed to stay within Heavenly Spirit City. After that, she personally escorted Elder Song and Ding Yan to meet the senior commanders of the coalition army that had formed between the 3 empires. Everyone from the Tang Sect remained behind to rest. Huo Yuao was already too tired by now. Once they were given their accommodations, he immediately went to his room to meditate. He was in great need of a rest. When he awoke from his meditation, the sky had already turned dark. It was evidently evening now. Huo Yuao let out a breath as he walked out from his room. He felt very refreshed. His great spiritual power and life energy meant that he had abnormal recovery abilities. Furthermore, he was still absorbing the manifold mysterious ice essence in his blood, and his soul power was thus increasing steadily. He was consolidating his rank 80 cultivation. The Ice Bear King had naturally followed him on this trip. However, he was a savage beast. Ordinary soul masters couldn't recognize him, but there were body sect members at the front line. Those who were stronger could naturally recognize the Ice Bear King. If they wanted to deal with him, trouble would ensue. Although it wasn't a big possibility, Huo Yuao still asked the Ice Bear King to rest in his spectral demiplane. There, he had prepared sufficient food. In fact, tea was all the food that he had stolen from the ration warehouse in the Heaven Do City. With that food around, the Ice Bear King wouldn't need to worry for at least the next half month. Are you awake? A gentle voice sounded. Huo Yuao turned his head to take a look, and saw Yi standing not far away from him. They were all allocated a room within a small courtyard. This was why they entered the courtyard the moment they stepped out of their rooms. Huo Yuao smiled as he said, Yi, your cultivation has been improving well. This was his first solo interaction with Yi since he had returned. From the soul power undulations that she released, he could clearly tell that her cultivation should be around rank 70. She must have had experienced great progress during her closed-door cultivation. Yi smiled and replied, I'm still far from you. You're my target. Huo Yuao smiled. You're a little too ambitious. Yi rolled her eyes and said, you're too arrogant. Huo Yuao chortled, I'm only speaking the truth. What are you guys talking about? Nan Qikai suddenly appeared out of nowhere. She took a few steps to reach Yi and said warily to Huo Yuao, I've experienced great improvement too. Why haven't you praised me before? Huo Yuao helplessly said, you've experienced great improvement? Why can't I tell? I only think that you've been idling all the time. Nan Qikai was furious and was about to act up. At this moment, a knocking sound was heard from the door to the courtyard. Nan Qikai glared at Huo Yuao first before going to open the door. Huo Yuao revealed a stunned look when he saw who was outside. Wasn't that Princess Wei Na? Your Highness? Nan Qikai was shocked. Wei Na smiled and asked, can I come in? Please do. Nan Qikai immediately made way. After meeting with the senior commanders in the afternoon, Elder Song and Yencheosh had expressed that their sole intention for coming here was just to save people. Of course, they would do their best to help the empire. It was just that the possibility of a fight breaking out now was very slim, given that the situation was very stable. Huo Yuao didn't know what was going on, but Yi and Nan Qikai were clearly aware. Why is Her Highness here? After entering the courtyard, Wei Na naturally turned to Huo Yuao. She revealed a surprised look on her face when she saw him and said, Yuao, you're here. I came here to look for you. Me? Huo Yuao pointed at his nose and asked. Princess Wei Na nodded and replied, yes. Can we talk in your room? I have something to tell you. Huo Yuao hesitated for a moment before replying. All right then, Your Highness, please. As he spoke, he led Princess Wei Na into his room. Nan Qiakai's eyes widened when she saw Wei Na closing the door. She turned to Yi and said, Sister Yi, see, this guy is attracting the attention of ladies everywhere he goes. I really don't know what's so attractive about him. Yi laughed and answered, what attracting the attention of ladies? You're thinking too much. Nan Qiakai wasn't pleased as she said, how am I thinking too much? If he's not attracting attention, why did Her Highness come to find him? Isn't she one of the senior commanders in the Heavenly Soul Empire? I heard she holds an important position too. If it's for official matters, she should find Eldest Senior even if she doesn't find Elder Song or Ding Yan. Why did she come to find him? There must be something going on between the two of them. Yi knocked her head and said, what have you been thinking about? Why can't you think properly? Obviously, there's only a very ceremonial interaction between Her Highness and Yuao. Furthermore, her empire is already in such distress. How would she have time for relationships? There must be some official matters. Don't forget that Yuao is very symbolic of the Tang Sect. Even Eldest Senior has to consult his opinions on many matters. In addition, he is very adept at surveillance. I think it might have to do with that. Nan Qiakai blinked and said, hey, Sister Yi, I've discovered that you've become smarter. Yi snapped as she said, I didn't. It's just that you got dumb. The more concerned you are, the more distressed you'll be. You even persuaded me earlier. Why do I feel that you're sinking in deeper and deeper? No. Nan Kyukai's face turned red before she denied the allegation. Yi Guyi smiled. You know for yourself whether it's true. Whatever you said to me before, say it to yourself now. Huro Yuao invited Wei Na to take a seat, while he sat in the opposite chair. Apologies, Your Highness. I've only just moved in. There's nothing I can serve you with. Wei Na shook her head and sighed lightly. I don't have the mood to deal with all that now. However, the temperature in your room is a little low. Huro Yuao smiled as he replied. I was cultivating earlier. Have you forgotten my martial soul? Wei Na was suddenly enlightened. Oh, right. Yes, you have an ultimate ice martial soul. Huro Yuao nodded and said, Your Highness, I wonder what you were here for. Wei Na lifted her head to look at Huro Yuao. There was a deep look in her eyes, as if there was some kind of special emotional undulation contained within. Although Huro Yuao's spiritual power was strong, he still grew a little awkward as she stared at him like this. He was too embarrassed to probe. At this moment, Wei Na kneeled down in front of Huro Yuao and kowtowed to him. Yuao, please save the Heavenly Soul Empire. Huro Yuao's hair was already standing from her stare earlier. However, he was astonished by what she did right now, and immediately rushed forward to lift her up. Your Highness, what are you doing? We can talk. Wei Na allowed Huro Yuao to lift her up. However, she was already tearing up when she faced Huro Yuao again. A woman's tears were very lethal. When he saw the tears in her eyes, Huro Yuao felt very sour in his heart. Princess Wei Na was very inspiring before, but now, as he thought until here, he couldn't help but sigh and said, Your Highness, if you have anything to tell me, just tell me directly. I'll help you in whatever way I can. Thanks. Wei Na sobbed as she nodded. I'm sorry, I lost my composure. I've been under far too much pressure during this period of time. It feels so good to see you again. I still remember the first time we met. Huro Yuao didn't say anything, but just sat there quietly. If he really took her as a weak young lady, he would be committing a very foolish error. Princess Juju was already very impressive. However, Huro Yuao thought more highly of Princess Wei Na. Wei Na rubbed her tears away when she saw that he had no reaction. She said, The Sun Moon Empire has come too abruptly. They've completely sealed off our surveillance on them. Initially, I was delighted that we had the body sect with us. I even thought that our overall strength was superior to the Douluo Empire. However, who knew that the Sun Moon Empire's soul tools were of such impressive standards? When I first saw that great explosion that tore our defensive line apart, how our advanced tier soul masters were killed and how our enemies were completely fine under their linked defensive barrier, I realized how foolish my thinking was. She seemed a little distracted and lost as she spoke until here. She wasn't trying to MP from this, but it was her true feelings. She had gone through too much over the past few months. The empire had collapsed, countless lives were lost, and everything seemed to be greatly connected to soul tools. After sighing, Wei Na turned her attention to Huro Yuao. When I first saw you, I had already realized the importance of soul tools. Honestly speaking, even though we've lost very heavily, we would have been in a worse state if not for the Juga divine crossbow cannons that the Tang Sect has produced. I heard about your exploits in the Douluo Empire. You were the one who helped the Douluo Empire regain control of the Ningdo mountain range, that relieved the pressure on us. Although you didn't directly participate in the war, you were still a benefactor of the Heavenly Soul Empire. Even though the Heavenly Soul Empire is in decline, I can still make decisions. I can give you a knighthood. She was filled with hope as she looked at Huro Yuao at this point. She waited eagerly for his answer. Huro Yuao was in shock right now. This Princess Wei Na is indeed very impressive. How did you know I helped the Douluo Empire regain control of the Ningdo mountain range? The Douluo Empire wouldn't have publicly revealed any of the details of that. Furthermore, she also knows that I was offered a knighthood by the Douluo Empire. Otherwise, she wouldn't have suggested that to me. A knighthood in the Heavenly Soul Empire is still very good even though the Empire is only left with 1/3 of its original territories. In terms of intelligence, the Heavenly Soul Empire should be ahead of the Douluo Empire. Huro Yuao shook his head gently and replied, I'm sorry, Your Highness. Perhaps you already know that I was offered a knighthood by the Douluo Empire, but I'm doing that because of some personal matters. I'm not being greedy. I appreciate your offer. Princess Wei Na sighed in her heart. She was already very open with her words, but Huro Yuao still rejected her outright. Yuao, you know the situation we're in. I can offer you more, but it can only happen once we are faring better. If you have any needs, please feel free to tell me. She's only talking about benefits. It seems like she's after something big. Huro Yuao pondered for a moment before answering seriously. Your Highness, I have nothing I need. My needs are the Academy's needs. As long as the Heavenly Soul Empire continues to support the Academy, everything's fine. If you need help, feel free to ask me. What a stubborn fellow. Wei Na was secretly depressed, but the look on her face turned more and more melancholic. I just hope that you can help the Heavenly Soul Empire one day. We won't forget your contributions. If we can do it and you need it, just tell us. This promises for forever. Honestly speaking, I'm only here today to build a good relationship with you. You don't have to think too much. That's right. I'm here to pull you over. Furthermore, I was determined before I even came. No matter what request you have, we'll do our best to fulfill it. That includes my body. Princess Wei Na lowered her voice. When she finished speaking, she had already lowered her head. Her voice was soft, but it was audible enough for Huro Yuao. She was very beautiful, and she was also being flirtatious now. To any man, she was devastatingly attractive. Even Huro Yuao was slightly moved when he saw her like that. Your Highness, you don't have to be like that. We have a common enemy now. Everyone knows that we're doomed if the Heavenly Soul Empire is destroyed by the Sun Moon Empire. That's why we'll do our best to help you. It's just that you should know that Shrek is working with all the empires. What we can do now is only to store for time. While the Sun Moon Empire's soul tools are powerful, they aren't as strong as the 3 empires combined. After occupying so much land, they'll need time to settle in. This time is very valuable to us. Yes. Wei Na nodded gently before she stood up and said, Yuao, I've already told you my intentions clearly. Since you don't have any requests, I'll leave first. There are still things I need to settle. It's still the same. If you have anything in the future that you need us to help you with, we will support you without any hesitation. Your Highness, you're too kind. Huro Yuao nodded slightly before he stood up and sent her to the door. She suddenly turned around when she reached the door. She looked at him with a sharp gaze. Huro Yuao was slightly taken aback, and only heard Wei Na whisper, Do you have that kind of male problem? What? Huro Yuao was confused, and his face turned red. He didn't expect the elegant Princess Wei Na to ask such a question. Wei Na chuckled before leaving. As she left, she muttered to herself, I'm finally feeling better. Huro Yuao's lips shuddered as he watched her leave. Even though he knew that Princess Wei Na was only being herself at the end, it was too ridiculous. Princess Wei Na left, and Bei Bei appeared from the side. He laughed. Little Junior, was she here to bribe you? Huro Yuao laughed bitterly as he nodded. He had already felt that Bei Bei wasn't far from them just now. Although Princess Wei Na wasn't being very loud earlier, Bei Bei could still hear her, given his cultivation. Bei Bei laughed. You're in demand right now. Isn't it good being a prince consort? Huro Yuao's face turned black. Eldest senior, even you're laughing at me. Haha. Little Junior, a man must never say no. Bei Bei laughed before walking off. Huro Yuao immediately chased after him and asked, Elder Senior, when do we take action? Bei Bei replied, we'll discuss that after dinner. Elder Song and Dean Yan are both back. Elder Song said that the Heavenly Soul Empire hopes that we can help them with surveillance. It seems like they know what you did for the Douluo Empire. They want to fully use us. Princess Wei Na probably came to find you for that reason. She's a clever lady. She knows that you're adept in this area and how important you are to the Tang Sect. She might even know that you'll be one of the main commanders of the 3 Soul Engineer Legions in the future. Bribing you will be beneficial to the Heavenly Soul Empire. Huro Yuao nodded and replied, I think so too. Bei Bei glanced at him amusedly. Of course, we can't exclude the possibility that she's really into you. After all, my little Junior is a man of many talents. You are fit enough to be with Her Highness. Huro Yuao laughed bitterly. Elder Senior, stop mocking me already. We have to perform surveillance. If we don't, we can't find Teacher Xiaoya. It's fine if we coordinate with them in this area. Furthermore, we'll need their help if we want to save Teacher Xiaoya. Without the war as a cover, it's impossible for us to enter the Sun Moon Empire's military. Bei Bei's expression turned serious as they talked about saving Tanya. In fact, no one was more anxious compared to him. Tanya had disappeared for so long. It had been so many years. In all these years, Bei Bei had been in torment. He was like that when he didn't have news of her. When he received news of her, she had already become a holy lady of the Holy Ghost Church. He clearly knew where his lover was, but he couldn't save her. Right now, it was clear how tortured he must feel. Now that he finally had a chance to find her, he was undoubtedly very anxious. However, the conflict between both armies involved close to 1 million soldiers. How easy was it to find someone from 1 million people? Furthermore, Tanya was on the enemy's side right now, and none of them knew how strong she was. In addition, she should be surrounded surrounded by powerful individuals from the Holy Ghost Church. To save her, a plan had to be hatched first. Let's go and have dinner. After dinner, we'll start planning. Bei grabbed Huo Yuao's shoulder and walked towards the guest hall. Dinner was very scrumptious. The Heavenly Soul Empire went to great efforts to prepare this dinner for them. Elder Song and Ding Yan sat in the main seats, while those from the Tang Sect formed a circle. Everyone ate very quickly. The food consisted of rare delicacies that were very nourishing to Soul Masters' bodies. However, everyone was concerned about their mission this time, and couldn't be bothered to rave about how delicious the food was. Dinner ended quickly, and there were servants who helped them to clean up the dining table. Elder Song then said, "All right, let's talk about our mission." Everyone unwittingly sat up straight. Even Yan Shaosh wasn't an exception. In front of Elder Song, he was a junior. After pondering for a moment, Elder Song turned her attention to Yan Shaosh and asked, "Shaosh, what's your opinion?" Yan Shaosh said, "I'll first talk about what we learned from the Heavenly Soul Empire today. Currently, the Heavenly Soul, Douluo and Dalu empires are all gathered somewhere. Over here, there are 9 Soul Master legions and more than 20 titled Douluo. The overall strength is rather great. The marshal of the 3 armies is a prince from the Heavenly Soul Empire known as Shuai. He hopes that we can help the Heavenly Soul Empire weaken the Sun Moon Empire's surveillance abilities. At the same time, he provided some information on their army. He'll coordinate with us for this mission." Elder Song added, "Their request is still quite reasonable. After all, we only have 11 people. It's impossible for us to change the entire situation of the war. However, we can still weaken the enemy's surveillance abilities." Elder Song was one of the strongest ability-type Soul Masters currently living. She was a rank 97 transcendent Douluo. If she made an appearance, it would be very easy for her to destroy some of the surveillance soul tools, unless the Sun Moon Empire had some kind of strict setup. Elder Song turned her attention to Bei. Bei, tell me your opinions. Bei was the leader of the Tang Sect, and one of the symbolic figures of the academy too. Bei nodded and replied, "Elder Song, Ding Yan, our main aim here is to save Xiaoyu before we do our best to help the Heavenly Soul Empire, under the condition that we can ensure our personal safety. That's why I think we should perform our own surveillance first, and find out where Xiaoyu is. At the same time, we can find out what the Sun Moon Empire's setup is before we decide on the best course of action." Elder Song nodded slightly and was amused as she looked at Huo Yuao. She asked, "Come, our little surveillance hero, how do you think we should act with regards to the Sun Moon Empire?" Huo Yuao's exploits at the Mingdou mountain range had long spread to the academy. As an important member of the Sea Gods Pavilion, Elder Song naturally knew what had happened. After hearing Elder Song's words, even Yan Shaosh revealed a grin on his face. Before Huo Yuao had even grown up, Yan Shaosh had already thought very highly of him. Now, Huo Yuao was all grown up, and was one of the symbolic figures of the younger generation of Soul Masters. He was also the Soul Master with the highest potential in the Tang Sect. Huo Yuao rarely returned to Shrek Academy now. Even if he did, he would leave shortly thereafter. Yan Shaosh didn't know the extent of his abilities. In terms of seniority, Huo Yuao was still considered his little junior. Huo Yuao coughed and replied, "Elder Song, Ding Yan, I'm no hero. If we're talking about surveillance, I think I should be fine performing super high aerial surveillance on the Sun Moon Empire. Given my understanding of the Sun Moon Empire's aerial surveillance soul tools, I believe they can only keep their soul tools at an altitude of 3,000 meters. As long as I'm above that altitude, I can basically confirm their overall situation. However, as it's too high up, the details might be a little vague. I can perform this surveillance. It'll be difficult to pinpoint teacher Xiaoya's location. My spiritual detection can only work within a certain region. Furthermore, there are bound to be spiritual barriers around certain soul tools in the Sun Moon Empire. Once my spiritual detection touches those barriers, I will immediately be discovered. If I'm within range, I'll definitely be attacked. If the Sun Moon Empire discovers me, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to escape. It's quite difficult to retreat completely. That's why I suggest that we need to at least fight them once if we want to bring teacher Xiaoyu back. Or we can ambush them in the night. It's only when we interact that I can bring reliable information back, but only if we can sufficiently protect ourselves." As for how he was going to survey the Sun Moon Empire, Huo Yuan naturally already had a plan. After his many rounds of surveillance during the war, he was slowly gaining experience. During his ultimate soldier plan training, he also slowly made it a part of him. Moreover, his ability to protect himself had grown significantly as his abilities grew. He even had the Ice Bear. King as his trump card. He knew that he had the confidence of fighting any enemy if the fight was small scale. Even against a titled Douluo, he believed he could still retreat successfully. After hearing Huo Yua's words, Elder Song was even more amused. "No wonder you're a talent that we nurtured from our ultimate soldier plan. If we want to spark a fight, we'll need the Heavenly Soul Empire's help. We'll also need to be careful. You should know that the Sun Moon Empire has Soul Engineer legions, and they react very quickly. Their attacks are also very lethal because of their linked soul tools. If things go awry, we run the risk of suffering heavy casualties." Huo Yuan nodded and answered, "Yes, I've thought of this already. That's why we can't have too many people around if we want to ambush them. However, we'll need strong individuals. If we can deploy some of the titled Douluo from the Heavenly Soul Empire, it would be fantastic. What do you think about leading this fight?" Elder Song asked. "Me?" Huo Yuao was stunned, and hurriedly said, "How can I? You and Ding Yan are both around. I'm only a small soldier under the two of you." Elder Song laughed. "All right, you don't have to be modest. If you're talking about fighting a war, Shaosh and I are both not experienced enough. You've already participated in many fights against the Sun Moon Empire, and you know their Soul Engineer legions better than us. We're not real soldiers. Whoever's capable will lead us. Let's do this. From now on, all 10 of us, including me and Shaosh, will be under your command. As for liaising with the Heavenly Soul Empire, I'll do it. What do you guys think?" Those from the Tang Sect naturally weren't in a position to say anything, but they were all stunned. They didn't think Elder Song would think so highly of Huo Yuao. Yan Xiaozi said without any hesitation, "I think it's feasible. Elder Song, you're wise." Huo Yuao smiled bitterly as he looked at Elder Song and Ding Yan. "Why do both of them look so sly with their smiles? Am I not being put in a spot? I have to command both of them." Elder Song said with a straight face, "Yuao, you don't have to be stressed. We aren't joking around with you. You'll lead this mission, and we'll do our best to coordinate with you. You're the only one who truly knows what's going on with the Sun Moon Empire's Soul Engineer legions. Furthermore, we've never fought a real Soul Engineer legion before. You should know that our individual strengths are less prominent with the existence of linked soul tools. Otherwise, the Heavenly Soul Empire wouldn't be in such a state with the help of the Body Sect." Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.